Hello and welcome to Bloke on the Range. Now, I've just been here having a nightmare of a time in a shooting competition with my souped up K31 with pretty much all of the competition allowed modifications on it, like an extended expensive butt plate that can only be sourced from a single supplier, diopter sights, funky bolt handle, and this is basically as far as you can go in Swiss competition with a K31. There's some other slight variation on the sights you can do, but basically that's about it. If you want to go further, there's what's called standard rifle, Standardgewehre. And I've been shooting down here with a friend of the channel who came along to let me show a couple of his standard rifles off. Now, these are basically the Swiss equivalent of the British target rifle or the American Palma Match rifle. And these ones are fairly interesting, these two he's brought here. Now, basically, they're a heavy stock, diopter sighted target rifle. What's particular about these for the Swiss market is that they sometimes, this one does, in fact both of these do, have magazines. 10 shots in this case. Caliber of this one is 7.5 by 55, GP11. As you would imagine, and there's a few interesting particulars about this one. This one, surprisingly, it's an Accuracy International, mostly known for supplying the British sniper rifles. Now, the owner of this rifle tried to work out its provenance, got in touch with AI, and they had absolutely no idea when and where they came to Switzerland, but it's marked up by a particular gunsmith. What on earth does that say? Palma Match series Swiss Master. And Michael Ming of Lungen, which is in Canton Obwalden, I think. He marketed this rifle. The magazine is not the same as an Accuracy International 7.62-51 308 magazine. It's bigger because 7.5 by 55 is bigger. So let's take a closer look at it. So we've got fairly standard European target rifle type adaptations here. So we've got a nice curved butt plate that can be moved up and down, cheek plate that can be also moved up and down, clearance for the bolt, Hemily diopter rear sight with an iris and a filter. It's fairly standard. The rail on here is an 11mm Anschutz rail, relatively short barrel, fluted, and here we have sights over the bore line. Now, a lot of the Swiss target rifles, Standardgewehre, have their sights offset to the left by about an inch. On the bottom, a rail for a single point sling. Magazine goes in there. Magazine release on the front. Exquisite trigger. And basically, it is a sling-supported accuracy machine. Bolt releases on the left. Let's just pop that out. And it's a massive 6-lug affair in sets of 3, 2 rows of 3 lugs. Spring plunger ejector, and yeah, fairly sizable Accuracy International bolt. And then we've got a second unusual one here. This particular one is not made anymore. It's a San Advanced Standardgewehr, also for a 10-round magazine. And this particular one is in 223 Remington, which is highly unusual. Good idea for novices, for juniors, but very unusual here because effectively the wind holding capabilities at 300 meters are nowhere near the same. I mean, GP11 7.5 by 55 is a 175 grain bullet doing about 2,550 feet per second. That's pretty wind stable. This is a 63 grain bullet doing just shy of 3,000 feet per second, and even at 300 that's more likely to get blown about by the wind. So let's take a closer look again. So again, a very similar configuration, very similar, well, identical rear sight. This one's on a rail over the action rather than being integral with the action, and Again, a fluted barrel, not very long. And if we take the bolt out again, we've got 3 lugs, also fairly substantial, slightly different configuration of the bolt, but nothing drastically so. So they're both absolutely excellent rifles for what they are designed to do, which is 300-meter target shooting. What's also interesting with them, and I'm not going to take them apart to show it, is that the Standard Advance has a plastic bedding block in it around the front of the action here, and the Accuracy International is bedded straight to the wood. It is not glass bedded, and certainly from my target rifle experience back in the day in the UK, I'm used to the idea of you must have an absolutely perfect glass bedding in any form of target shooting rifle. The old military rifles, we're not allowed to glass bed these, but everyone's following the same rules, so it really doesn't matter. But I was rather surprised to learn that that neither of them are in fact glass bedded. So there you go, 2 interesting and slightly unusual Swiss standard rifles. Perhaps on another occasion I'll show you a standard rifle, as it were, and yeah, so you can look forward to that or not. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Please consider supporting us on Patreon if you haven't already done so. All help gladly received, and see you again sometime. Bye.